$650 can't get you a lot of gear these days. If you're following what's trending on Instagram, $650 is likely 1 or 2 pedals and that's it. You could go with the budget route, but many of these cheap pedals are bees in a can bad. But not all pedal companies compromise on sound quality with their budget options. Today, I'm going to show you how this rig mounted on a pedal tray Nano is budget friendly or having all you need for the Sunday service. A shout out to today's sponsor, Donner Music. They've said to be the triple threat, the distortion, phaser, and delay built in collaboration with Third Man Hardware and the Yellow Fall Delay mini pedal for review. They're all metal with sturdy foot switches, the triple threat having soft touch switches, which was a surprise to me. These two pedals are integral to the pedalboard build, so do watch the video to the end. Before we begin, let's set our expectations. The budget effects option is not going to get you extensive controls, so you have to forego things like tap tempo. Secondly, to fit all of this into a small form factor pedalboard, you have to sacrifice some effects. You'll notice that I don't have a compressor or a reverb pedal, the two pedals that are supposedly essential for worship tone. Consequently, we're going to have to get creative with our tweaking and live with the tonal limitations. Let's face it, you're not going to get a shimmer reverb on this board. But don't worry, I'll show you my boomer guitar tricks that still apply today like they did 25 years ago. Setting up the amp without a compressor, manually dialing in a delay pedal, and how to get faux reverb. We'll leave the shimmer reverb to the keyboardist. Trick number 1, setting up an amp with no compressor. Compressor pedals make your loud signals softer and your soft signals louder. Amplifiers that are set to a very mild crunch also compress signals by virtue of the amp gain cranking the signal up. You might be tempted to set an amp pristine clean so that it's a pedalboard platform, but in this case, you want some of that drive to help you compress your lower volume playing. On this Tech 21 Liverpool, setting the drive halfway up and the character knob slightly past 1 o'clock lands you on a sweet spot where playing hard gets you a crunch tone and picking softer or turning your volume knob down gets you clean. So how do you get a lead sound? Here's where the distortion in the triple threat comes in. Don't be put off by the distortion label. At lower gain settings, it's not harsh and very musical. I've set this up with a volume boost so that it lets the Liverpool roar. For a thick rhythm setting, leave the distortion on but turn the volume knob of the guitar down. This tames the drive without losing the energy. showing my age, trick number 2, manually dialing in a delay pedal. Kids, there was a time we had to live without tap tempo. To get our delays to sync in tempo with our playing, we had to dial them in by ear, and that's easy to do with the Donner Yellow Fall and the echo on the triple threat. For the fellow guitar nerds, the Yellow Fall signal path is based around a PT2399 echo delay processor chip and provides from 20 milliseconds of delay out to about 620 milliseconds of delay. As far as the .8 delay goes, that's approximately 140 BPM at the shortest end to 72 BPM at the longest end. That should safely cover most of the songs you play on a Sunday morning. Before we go on, if you're finding value in this video, please hit the like button so I know this is relevant for you and YouTube sends it out to more people. Hit the sub and bell icon to get my content as soon as they drop and to grow the channel. Thank you very much. Trick number 3, faux reverb. Showing my age again, reverb pedals were very uncommon. We got our ambience from the sound of our amp filling the room as well as from our delay pedals. Having analog style delays set up for a longer feedback leads to an audio degradation in the repeats. Have that sound degrade long enough and we get a sonic warmth that sits underneath the guitar, which the Yellow Fall and echo side of the triple threat do quite well. I do find that with the Yellow Fall's verge of oscillation, it works very well as a single note lead enhancer for slower tempo songs. Thicker ambience, you can stack the delays to have them bounce off each other. This is how I'm getting a quarter note plus dotted eighth note with the delays on these pedals. You're seeing through these clips that it really doesn't take a lot of gear to play for the Sunday service. Don't knock off budget gear just because they're cheap. Try them out and you might be pleasantly surprised. This has been the case with Donner. The triple threat has a musical distortion that isn't too aggressive or buzzy, a useful phaser that can add subtle movement to parts, and a delay that is analog flavored with a pleasing tonal degradation that leads to a faux reverb. Combined with the Yellow Fall delay, you won't have to mess with the tie knot for each song. You can set them up for fast songs and slow songs respectively, or stack them for that quarter plus dotted eighth delay setting. And that's me. What about you? Were you surprised at how much mileage I could get out of budget gear? What does your budget rig look like? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. This video is part of my budget gear series where I show how wallet-friendly gear doesn't necessarily mean terrible sounding tones. If you've enjoyed this video, check out the rest of the videos in this playlist. I recently did a review of the Enya Music Nova Go Sonic, a supposed beginner guitar, but has advanced features that appeal to both beginner and seasoned players. See you there.